everyone, and welcome back to Be Inspired, a podcast where, you guessed it, it's a chance for you to be inspired by a whole plethora of creatives from the performing arts industry. I am Rebecca, and I am the Artistic Director of Blue Balloon Theatre, and I am joined by none other than Jas Nisic, who is the Associate Director of the company, and we run this bad boy together.
Whoop whoop!
Yeah! So I thought it'd be really interesting for us to chat about you today, because your journey within the industry has been rather fascinating and rather unconventional as well. So let's begin. I feel like the best place to start is for anyone who doesn't really maybe know us or know you, like, tell us about you and what you do.
So I'm Jas Nisic. I'm an actor-singer, and I always like to use a tagline that I'm a working class actor-singer and I am unapologetically Mancunian. I'm also a vegan, and I'm also incredibly left-wing, as you can guess it, unapologetically Mancunian. So I currently am an actor, but obviously I do bits and bobs at the side, and that's not obviously how I started. So I started performing when I was 11 in Amdram. Oliver, I feel like everyone's done Oliver the musical when they were a kid. And I got dragged there just because I just started to find my confidence, and I absolutely just fell in love with being on stage. And then when I was at school with no other than Becca, we both did a BTEC together in acting, and that really, really, really opened my eyes to performing more, probably more as a hobby at the time, and found a northern-based theatre company called Northwest Theatre Arts Company, and I did a musical with them, and then went on to college and really wanted to keep going the drama, so I did a drama A-level, got the top marks in both of my performances in my class, which was really fun, and we did musicals, and this is the first time I found Little Shop of Horrors. Little Shop of Horrors is a fantastic, amazing musical. It's my dream role, Audrey, and then we did Jesus Christ Superstar as well, and that was the first time actually that I really fell in love with musical theatre. I always considered myself a serious actor until my drama teacher, Danny Price, gave me our first assignment to do Teachers by John Godber or Willie Russell.
I believe
It might be Willie Russell. I don't know.
it's one or the other.
One or the other.
Part of me wants to say John Godber.
Could be John Godber actually.
I'm not going to Google it right now.
I'm not going to Google it now.
We'll look later.
We'll go with John Godber. And I remember him saying to me, yeah, here's a comedy, Jas. And I went, comedy? I don't do comedy. I'm a serious actress. And he went, no, you are a comedy actor. I was like, wow, this is new to me. And we had to devise our second piece. And we were the only comedy group. We did a farce. And it was great. And I really wanted to audition for drama school, but I suffered from extreme stage fright, and auditions particularly were really stressful for me. When I was on stage I was fine, but auditioning for stuff was horrendous, and I had an audition lined up with Alra, and I just didn't go. At all. Paid my money, and I just decided that I wasn't going to do it because I was too scared. And quite thankfully, I think I'm really grateful that I didn't go to that audition, because I don't think I was ready. And I had this debate of, do I do a maths degree or do I do a drama degree? But I'm not a very good writer in terms of like essays. So I decided I'll do a maths degree because it was something that I was alright at. Went to uni, smashed my maths degree, got a first class with honours. And that at the age of 19, because I didn't have like musicals as part of school or anything, I really missed it. So I went back to the Northwest Theatre Arts Company and I joined their stage school almost, and was pretty much in quite a lot of their productions, and ended up touring the Northwest, doing Andrew Sisters gigs, a lot of TIA, did some pantomimes in schools, which was a whole other thing. and did Macbeth as well. It was my first Shakespeare that I've done. I absolutely love Shakespeare. Well, especially when I understand what's going on. Yeah, so I think I did a master's in maths, and it was about 2 months into my course in October, and I was sat in applied dynamical systems, and it was a really boring course, and I just thought, I know, I'm going to start looking at drama schools. And I specifically remember you, Becca, telling me about the Royal Academy of Music.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is this place? Searched that, and I was like, oh my God, this is like the perfect course for me. And so went to an open day, fell absolutely head over heels in love with the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is where I need to be. And so I took a year out and auditioned. I never auditioned at a drama school, had extreme stage fright, thought it was crap. And I got a recall, and I was like, oh my God, this is actually could be a possibility. So I was like, right, okay, well, fees are expensive, so I need to earn some money. So I worked as a software engineer in a job I hated, saved all my money, and I did my recall, and I got in, and I remember I phoned Becca. And I was like, I've gone into the Royal Academy of Music! Ah! And we screamed at each other on the phone, and then I cried because I couldn't afford it. And I will never ever forget when you said to me, you're going to get the money.
Yeah.
Don't know how,
Yeah.
but you're going to get it.
I remember that conversation so, like, vividly, and within the space of, like, a couple of minutes, you'd gone from being ecstatic to being really, really upset. And you were just like, I can't go. I can't afford it. And I was literally like, right, she needs to have this moment. This is almost like the spark to then make you want to get the money sorted. And that was why I said to you, I was like, you're going to find the money. Like, you are going to be fine. But it was that the preceding months were quite testing.
Oh, God, yeah.
Definitely.
I think anyone who's listening here that is a working class aspiring artist who wants to go to drama school do know that there are lots of money out there, lots of scholarships for people like us to be able to tap into that money. There's not a lot of it, but I think I raised about $7,000 just from scholarships alone. And I think one thing that working class artists need to be good at is being able to blow our own trumpet and being underrepresented in this industry. Using that, saying, hey, look at me, I am from a council estate, like I shouldn't even be here, but look at me, I'm here to change the world. And do you know what? If somebody thinks I'm big-headed for it, then they can think that.
Well, that's their problem.
That's their problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to Royal Academy of Music. I had the absolute best year of my life. And everything was difficult, really, really difficult. I found everything pretty challenging, felt out of my depth most of the time, but I just took it in my stride and learned everything that I could.
Yeah.
Had showcase, and I thought, you know, I'm going to do this big song in a big Mancunian accent, and everyone's going to want me. And they didn't. And that was quite a big shock. And that's the first time it hit me that the industry isn't where it needs to be, and it's all about perceiving diversity rather than actual diversity. And I feel, even still at drama school, that they don't care about working class backgrounds. I mean, I know Lipper's different, but I guess that's the beauty of Lipper. It's in Liverpool, you can't ignore it.
But even still, there is still a problem there, I believe. I think Lipper are very good. They do have an incredibly diverse team, both teaching and tutoring and learning within that building. But I think, I mean, especially last year with the Black Lives Matter movement, a lot of flaws started to show up, and I think every drama school has got a job to do in making it just more accessible to people from minorities, both whether it's your socio-economic background or whether it's your race and, you know, that kind of thing. It all needs to be embraced by these institutions to make the learning system better.
Yeah. And it makes you a better actor,
Oh,
being
right,
around
100%.
different types of people, hearing different accents.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is TV now.
Mm.
TV has made strides and strides forward.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, Maxine Peake can be a lawyer and no one bats an eyelid. No one cares. But
I think the thing with Maxine Peake is that she's been such a beacon of light for people that are working class. I mean, now she's still maintained that connection with her working class roots. Although she may not actually be working class anymore, she's probably middle class because of what she's managed to achieve within the industry, and that's amazing. But she's never ever lost sight of where she came from.
No, not at all.
And the fact that it is still a huge part of her as a person, which I see that in you a lot. Like, I think that's quite an admirable trait, because not once in this have you, in this journey, shall I say, you've never forgotten where you've come from.
No.
Ever. And that's really important. That was something that I did as well when I was at LIPA. I mean, obviously, the difference is I spent 3 years there, you spent a year at RAM, and within that 3 years, come the end, when I was doing showcase, it was that thing of, I'm a really bubbly Mancunian actor, and I've got a very fun accent in comparison to a lot of the, maybe standard RP voices within this ensemble. That is surely a good thing. Obviously, for me, it was different because I was approached by an agent afterwards. But again, there's never a guarantee. There's never a guarantee you're going to get representation.
No. But I think that's another thing about the stigmas between straight acting and musical theatre. Because it's like the other day I did a workshop and I did this song called Just Keep Moving the Line, which is about an actress on Broadway, and she's trying to make it, but she keeps finding roadblocks. And the lyrics I really, really, really resonate with, because it's about just keep moving the line. Every time she gets to the goalpost, it moves. And I was like, well, I feel like that's my life. I get to somewhere and it gets moved.
Yeah.
But you've got to work. Like, I didn't get approached by agents after my showcase. But that doesn't mean that that's the end.
Yeah, exactly.
I wrote to a load.
Yeah.
Pounded them. And then especially after my final show, that's when I proved myself.
Yeah.
And that's when the office came in. And the office came in because I wrote to them, not the other way around. I wasn't waiting for anything. And so when I did this workshop and I did this song, I just made the decision of, you know what, I'm doing it in my own accent.
Yeah.
And I didn't overly push the mank. I just did it in how I felt.
Yeah.
And,
I think because it's not done very often, a lot of people find it very odd at first when they hear a northern voice singing. And it's because when you're at college, where you might be learning musical theatre or singing or something like that, a lot of the time it's unsaid, but it's always there that you sing in this neutral voice.
Yeah.
It's almost like a very clean English, an RP clean English, and it's daft, because there's so many accents within this country.
I know.
If we all sang in our own accents, that'd be really, really liberating.
Beautiful.
It would, because it's like we were saying before about the Burnley accent. I've got a self-tape in a Burnley accent, and Burnley's not far from where we live. It's about half an hour in the car.
Yeah.
And yet the difference in the sound it's massive, really.
Massive.
And so if you were to bring that into acting, into singing as well, it brings a whole different dynamic to whatever it is you're performing. So I agree with you. There's a long way to go in terms of diversity within the arts, definitely. Something I wanted to touch upon was, we're going way, way back now to when you were at college, because I remember coming to see your shows there, and you did Little Shop, and you did Jesus Christ Superstar, and when it came to the point where you were auditioning or thinking of auditioning for drama school, but you were really, really scared. That, I feel like a lot of people at that age, especially because you are so young, have felt that. I think it could mainly, I don't know whether it does depend on where you go, because if you're generally anxious and nervous towards it, that's like a universal thing. Like, auditions are scary, so at that age, thinking about where you want your career to go, if you've got to audition for a drama school, of course that's going to be scary. But I just find it really interesting how you knew within yourself and you didn't sort of beat yourself up for saying, actually, I'm not going to go to this audition because I'm not ready. And I think a lot of people kind of push themselves into making this choice and going to these auditions because they think it's the right thing to do. They think that they need to just go straight into a course somewhere in higher education. Whereas actually, you can take that step back, you know, even if you are, you know, you might be 17, 18, 19, whatever, you can take that step back and say, this isn't the right thing for me, because when you're that young, like, it's very hard to know what you want to do. I suppose as well, you've had a lot of experience with NewTac, who you mentioned before, Northwest Theatre Arts Company. And do you think, had you not have had that experience with them, do you think that you would have even pursued doing more drama at college, having that outside curricular as well? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I think had I not, college really brought the love of performing. It's definitely something that I love doing. And then when I went to uni, I had like a 6-month gap where I didn't do any performing. I only did maths and drinking and stupid stuff. And then I remembered, because I did NewTac when I was younger, and I knew people and I knew it was an encouraging environment, that I wanted to go back there. And actually it was that finding who I am as a performer, because I think when you're like 18, you have no idea who you are. You don't even know what your voice sounds like. Because, you know, when I went to RAM, I learned so much about not listening to a recording of someone and just trying to be them. Yeah. Like, I know that when I used to sing Little Mermaid, I would try and sound like Jodie.
Yeah.
I would try and make my voice sound like her. And I was, you know, when I was quite young, I was really good at having a chameleon type voice. And actually it was at NewTac, and I can't remember why it was. Someone somewhere who decided that they were going to give me this song. Oh, do you know what? It was Holly. Holly, she does the dance.
Oh, okay.
She's not seen her for years, actually. She just decided one day, I know, we're going to give Jas I'd Rather Go Blind. And I don't know why. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. And I sang it, and I listened to Etta James sing it, and I don't have Etta James's voice. And I also listened to Beyonce sing it, and I found somewhere in the middle that was my voice. And because I couldn't do some of the riffs that Beyonce did, so I had to come up with my own way of singing. And it was a really slow progression of how I found my voice. And I feel like NewTac really, really, really opened up this soul side of singing that I'd never really appreciated, because I was just this little white soprano when I was at college. And actually found the love of alto, soulful singing. And then when I went to RAM, it then moulded into a more folky, jazzy sound rather than soul. And I think taking the time out, like when you're 18, you just know absolutely nothing about yourself. You're not lived. And I think spending a year getting everything wrong, like, I still think it's good to audition, but I think maybe like auditioning for Royal Exchange Youth, and auditioning for different companies and doing stuff with our company Blue Balloon and Up Air Productions, and finding out what's going on in Manchester. There's a girl called Ria is my mate's girlfriend, and she was involved in loads of stuff like Laura before she got to go to drama school. and built some really lovely connections in Manchester. And I think Manchester's so good with like a youth. My Bella! I don't know if you can hear that rumble on the microphone.
Took me a minute to realise that was your belly.
My gosh. But yeah, no, the thing is, you've got to find yourself as a performer, and sometimes you can hit the jackpot, and you do get into a drama school, and you find out that drama school was perfect for you. I'd argue that was you, Philippa.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you went to East 15, do you know what I mean?
No.
No, but you would have gone, I'm going to go here because this is the only place that's offered me a place.
Yeah.
And...
But that being said, I don't think I would have, because I was quite set on what I wanted, and I knew as soon as I walked in, with any drama school you get a vibe, don't you? You get a vibe whether you like it or not, and I did not like East 15. Before I even spoke to anyone or entered the actual building, I was like, nope, don't like it.
Well, that's what I mean, whereas some people feel the pressure of, well, anywhere's better than nowhere.
Yeah,
actually, no.
Oh, yeah.
And was that your second year? Or was that your first year? Second year, because you've already experienced auditioning, and actually I'm glad that you didn't get anywhere. And I honestly, everyone I know that didn't get in their first year has been so much better off for it.
Yeah, I often forget that. I often forget that I had the year out, but
I'll recommend.
It was great actually, because within that time, like, I didn't lose sight of what I wanted at all. I just did everything within my power and within my budget to upkeep sort of all the skills that I'd learned at college. And I mean, I went to Pendleton College and you went to Loreto, and both, I would say, have really, really good performing arts courses. And I know that with Pendleton in particular, they are quite keen on getting people into drama school. That is something that they strive for. But before I went there, I was like, drama school, what's that? I thought RADA. That's the first place I thought I was at. RADA. Yeah, that's the only one in the world. It's definitely not.
Yeah, because we did a business unit.
Yeah.
And we had to look up drama schools, didn't we?
Yes.
And I think the two places I looked at were RADA and LIPA.
See, I didn't know about LIPA.
Did you not?
No.
I did.
Which I probably should have, because, I mean, because it's linked to Paul McCartney especially, and Paul McCartney is still incredibly, incredibly famous, like, it would have made sense for me to know. But I think it was because when, like, I'm talking years ago now, it was known as Paul McCartney's Fame School. So I knew that, I'd heard of that, but never LIPA, which is obviously its name. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Oh, see, no, for me, really bizarrely, because of that business unit, I only thought there was two drama schools. The one in London, which was RADA, and then the one at LIPA. And the mad thing is, see, that's what I don't understand about Loreto. Loreto's a very academic college, but they had partnerships with drama schools. And when I was there, we had a partnership with ALRA.
Right.
And then the year after, they had a partnership with LIPA, because ALRA used to come into art. They auditioned the students at our college, and LIPA did that the year after.
We had that with Mountview, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Mountview came to our
Oh my God.
our college, and I remember it was really lovely actually, because they're really good with the alumni of the college, and for those of us that were taking a gap year because we didn't get in, they basically said to us, come back to the college, you can audition for Mountview with here because you're like alumni, and it was lovely actually. They continued to support us in whatever way that they could. I think the difficulty was that obviously I got accepted onto the acting course at LIPA because I auditioned for the two different types of courses, whereas I'd come from a musical theatre course, and I remember the head of performing arts at the time was like, we'll put in a really good word with GSA, like, we'll like, it's gonna make any difference. But basically he just said, like, we'll have a chat with them and we'll see what we can do, because we do want to help you and support you if we can, which obviously I was really appreciative of. But it was that thing of, might actually want to do acting, straight acting, and if you don't see that as
a valid option,
as opposed to musical theatre, then well, that's not really fair, because ultimately it is my choice. I'm so glad that I went with Lipper. So glad.
No, I just think the thing with the musical theatre courses is it's really hard if you're not a dancer.
Yeah.
And the thing with, like, you can sing, so that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. And you've got, but the thing is, like, acting and singing, like, you can have the best voice in the world, you're not going to make it in musical theatre. Well, no, you probably are, because of how the world's going now. But
Alexandra Burke, what?
What has she been cast in recently? What is
I don't
it?
even know.
I went on Spotlight, and she's in something again.
Obviously,
the Golden Calendar Girls.
The problem I have is that I'm not saying that she doesn't have a talent, because she can sing. That, you know, there's no two ways about it. She can sing. She can hold a tune, but by casting the same person in absolutely everything, how many opportunities are other people missing out on? No. People that have trained in musical theatre for potentially years, who have graduated, who are literally walking triple threats, and they don't get the opportunity because Alexandra Burke is a name.
And she went on Strictly Come Dancing.
Did she? I didn't know that.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, that
that
makes sense now.
Yeah. Did she win?
I hope not. No,
she may have come second.
Just for you guys, I'm indifferent about Alexandra Burke.
I don't like her.
Something I wanted to also mention is the fact that you were a one audition wonder with drama school. You know, here's me doing bloody however many auditions for 2 years, and you did one audition, got a recall, did the recall, got in. How does that work?
I don't know. I only applied for one as well.
But what I like about that is the fact that you went to the open day, which is something I never did.
Yeah, it ruled out loads.
Yeah, you went to the open day. I imagine you probably asked questions that you needed to ask, find out a little bit more about the school and what they offer. That is such a great thing to do, and I mean, I don't wish that I did that, because I just went to these places and experienced them for the first time and then auditioned, and I think for me that worked.
Yeah.
But that might not work for everyone. It's a bit like, you know, when people are picking a uni for a normal
degree, you have to go to an open day. You have to go.
And yet, I think sometimes with drama schools, it's a little bit different, because a lot of money and time and preparation goes into the auditions, basically, and making sure that you're ready for them. I mean, God bless my mother, because 2 years of, I mean, especially in that first year, she literally was my backbone in terms of like paying for travel and accommodation for auditions and things like that. And the actual auditions themselves, because they cost. It's just incredible the fact that they still do that in most places. And I think I've lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
Paying money. Open days.
Oh yeah. I think had we have gone to open days as well, it would have just been too much money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Too much.
I've got two sides of it, because, you know, a lot when you go on an audition, it kind of is an open day.
Yeah.
Because you do go. But
and a lot of them are set up to be that way as well.
Because it is expensive. But then on the flip side of it, I went to Central, because I thought, because I wanted to do actor.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do straight acting. I was going to apply first, because you could apply for multiple classes at Central, so I was looking at them. their music theatre course. It's not musical theatre, it's music theatre.
Oh, don't get me started.
Whatever. And then their straight acting course. And just because of like my uni background, I was like, you know what, I have a bit of money, you know, don't really know London too well, and I want to go to the open day. So I went to the open day, and actually I decided that I didn't want to go. From that open day, I realised that Central wasn't right for me.
Yeah.
But I feel like because I went to the open day for the Royal Academy of Music, and the way that they do their open days is different to any other drama school.
Yeah.
They show off their year. So I got to, what was the first thing I got to do was sat in Duke's Hall, which is like this beautiful, I don't even know how to describe it, it's just beautiful, acoustically stunning room with all these fancy paintings. And the current year got up and they did a song, an ensemble song, and I went with my friend Dama, and honestly, like, I was crying because of how gorgeous they sounded. And then we got to witness the acting through song with Matt Ryan. Again, amazing, like the way that he transformed songs. So you got to see them work with it, and then got to witness a dance class. And when I was there, I realised that they do it with their top set dance. But if I'm being brutally honest, I remember watching that class going, this isn't so out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So put a lot of I was like, these aren't that good dancers, so I could definitely do this.
Yeah.
But actually they were the top dancers. But like, obviously RAM's not a dance course. And
they do focus a lot more on the voice.
You do. On the flip side, our timetable was mostly dance. Was the biggest part of our timetable was dance. So you still did a lot of dance, but it didn't. And to be honest, like the fitness side of it, and I love dancing, and I love that I got to do a bit of tap. But I'm not going to take it with me, and that's fine. But it kept me physically fit.
Yeah. It's a massive thing. Like, we had fitness classes at Lipper once a week. I think it was during the first year, bodycon, and I loved it. I couldn't do it. I was terrible. Like, now, completely different story. Physically, I'm much fitter than I probably ever was. But then, oh my God, I'd look around thinking, why can everyone else do this and I can't? But it was so good. It was the consistency of being like, you need to be physically fit to do this job.
Yeah.
I think more than anything, it helps your head. Like, if you're playing a challenging role and you're not physically fit, then it's like you can't get yourself into a sort of safe space mentally.
No.
It's like, that's why running is, I found running to be really helpful, because it's sustained
stamina,
energy and stamina over a long amount of time. So I mean, now I can go and run 10k and I'll be absolutely fine. And Jas is pulling her face. But having that, the hormones that it releases in your head basically stabilise your mood. And it's the same with any other exercise. Like, it'll either stabilise your mood or release endorphins, which make you feel better. So that's why being physically fit is so important. So, I mean, that's really good to hear that you had some. I mean, I already knew that, obviously, but
I was counting the hours. We had we had 6 hours a week of dance and / tap.
Yeah.
No, that's a lot. No.
Now she's looking really confused.
We had 6 hours of dance, and then we had 3 hours a week of movement. Movement was the thing that changed my life.
Yeah.
And I've been watching lots of videos recently about how movement and anxiety, that if you're feeling particularly anxious, if you just stand up and just start waving your arms like a jellyfish, it helps the anxiety like loads.
Yeah.
And I feel like I had a bit of a blip. It was like July, and I was left in the house on my own, and I had this rush of awful emotions, and at this point I was really into Dua Lipa. And I put, what's the song? 1, to pick up the phone, you know you're calling because it's drunk and alone. 2, don't let him in. And I put it on and I just danced like a maniac in the kitchen. And the rush of emotion died because I was putting that rush of emotion and adrenaline was going into the dance moves and not into my mental state. Yeah. So I find that it was like the other day, had a workshop and I really couldn't be arsed. So my new song it's a Eurovision winner, Israel. It's like, I'm not your toy, not your toy, you stupid boy, stupid boy.
This is better than BBC Live Lounge.
Honestly, love that song. That's honestly just that woman. If I'm ever a millionaire, she's my movement teacher, is being my personal guru because she's fantastic. And over lockdown, she's done classes.
It's such an important thing, isn't it? Yeah. Like, I think that, like you said, it's the action of physically doing something and physically taking yourself out of the situation that you're in or the headspace that you're in is just so beneficial. I know I find that, like, if I'm physically doing something, you have to focus on it. Yeah. It's like, I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, so I do a lot with weights when I exercise. If you stop concentrating, you could really, really hurt yourself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you're putting yourself into a position where you're immersing yourself in something different, something that's practical, physical, that you have to engage your body in, and it lifts you out of proper ruts, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, I guess the point that we were started on, that I just want to hammer home before we end is, so going to that open day. Yeah. It gave me something that was a place that I needed to be. And especially like after, because I went to see Ram and then I went to Central, and I thought Central was a place that I wanted to go. And honestly, I don't think I would have had the need and the want to go there had I not gone to that open day and been so inspired. And that's the point. Yeah. I was inspired, whereas like Central, they were all about their achievements. But the thing is, like, Ram could be that person that goes, we've got this person who is in Les Mis and blah 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 blah. Yeah. And that's not what drama school's about. Yeah, bloody everyone from arts ed ends up being in Book of Mormon or whatever, but that is not it's not why you should go to a drama school. No. And it's not important. And I know a load of people go to Ram because of the connections. Yeah. You know, I've benefited from them, but
it does make sense really, because you know, the first thing you look at is, right, where have these graduates gone on to? Yeah. You want to see what the success rate is like, and I think that's a really normal thing to look for, but ultimately it does come down to how you feel about the school. And if you think you can study there for however long, you know, whether you 10 years down the line, whether you're in Book of Mormon or whether you're in some fringe show in Edinburgh, it does not matter. Nope. Because everyone's journey is completely different, which takes me on nicely to my final question. Is there any bit of advice, and this is like to do with getting into drama school, this is to do with absolutely anything, this is to do with getting jobs as well, is there anything that you would advise people, or anything that you've found has helped you in the time that you've been a graduate?
So I'll go off, the first thing that was in my head is you need to get other skills that are not related to acting, and or can be related to acting, teaching, but you need other skills. You need to do something else with your life. I think doing maths and working as a software engineer and doing internships and the stuff that's completely not related to performing is just give me something in my life that I've gone through, and actually I found my voice and my balls through these jobs where I've been in male dominated, you know, places, and I've gone through a lot of trauma that has really helped me as a performer. But obviously financially I'm so lucky because, like, currently I'm working at the University of Manchester helping underrepresented students through an online space, and I'm incredibly passionate about it. I'm basically helping the little jazzes who went to the University of Manchester and inspiring them. And on the flip side of that as well, I'm tutoring maths and I'm getting paid quite a lot to do it. I mean, I don't particularly enjoy it, but I don't have the financial worries, and I don't mean that in a very, I'm not trying to be like condescending or anything, but especially when you come from our background and you don't have mum and dad to rely on. Thankfully, like, both me and you are in a position where if we both needed to be at home, we can be at home, and we've got support networks around us that we won't starve and be homeless. But in terms of like being an adult and like living in the wide world, you need skills that aren't, and also being patient. I don't know how long we've been going for. 40 minutes. Being patient. Don't matter if you get into drama school when you're 18 or if you don't go to drama school. I know loads of people that have made their break and never even gone to drama school and are, you know, doing amazing things, but
it isn't for everyone.
No, and honestly, doesn't matter. Age does not matter. If you're 33 and want to go to drama school, do it. You know, and you know it happens in every aspect of your life. If you're a writer, a poet, if you're an accountant right now, but you write poetry in your spare time, like, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that you I'm scared that was a doctor's then. It doesn't matter. Like, follow your dreams. It doesn't matter how you get there, but know that every experience that you have in your life is going to be useful. And like, I'm probably never going to do degree level maths again, but do you know what? I've given myself something that I can use to finance myself in the future, and that worry's gone. And honestly, like, financial problems have a severe impact on your mental health.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know, I'm happy that if I got a job that I was an acting job, I'd ditch it all in a second.
Yeah.
And that's just life, and it'll happen. And agents, get on Twitter, email, all of them. Email them all, find the contact list on Spotlight, see who's got their books open, reach out to them. No one's going to reach out to you. Get your mate to film a show reel with you in your garden.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
To be self-sufficient and enjoy your life. Learn guitar. Learn
Absolute
piano.
must.
Learn guitar, learn the ukulele.
I would like to add to that. Do the things. I mean, if lockdown has taught us anything, it's taught us to do the things that we've been putting off for years.
Yeah.
Just do them.
It's not about being good.
No, practice. Just keep learning new things. Be open to learning new things. I think that's a really important thing. Before you actually get to the point of learning things, you have to be open to it.
Yeah, you have to get things wrong and be crap.
Yeah, you have to be like, oh my God, that was absolutely awful.
Yeah.
But I learnt something from it. Yeah. So that's a positive.
You get better.
And that's I would agree with that. That's something that I would firmly stand by. I mean, Blue Balloon Theatre, prime example. Not everything goes right all the time. Not at all. But, you know, we learn from the mistakes, and they're not even mistakes. They're like just things that happen, and we go, okay, that wasn't what we expected, and let's have a chat about why. Right, okay, let's move on. Let's make it better. Like
online Zoom poetry nights, we thought we did the first one, we were like, oh my God, this is going to be egger.
Yeah, and it was
bloody brilliant.
Completely different.
Bloody brilliant.
But yeah. Great advice.
Good advice.
Yeah, very
Just
good.
do things for you.
Yeah,
get a cat.
Get a cat.
Get a cat.
If you don't like cats, get a dog. And if you don't like either of those,
then
what's wrong with you?
Please don't speak to me ever.
I think that's great advice and a great place to end the podcast.
Yes.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
I'm going to go for a week because I'm busting.
If you've been listening to this on YouTube, thank you very much for listening. Leave a like, comment down below if you'd like to chat with us, and we'll meet you down there. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We are now on all available audio listening services like Spotify, Anchor, etc. And it's been a pleasure, Jas. Thank you.
And you, Becca.
Thank you. And thank you all, listeners. We will see you at the next one.
Arrivederci.
Bye.
Bye.